Hey YouTube, Untamed here. So today we're going to talk about the greedy dealership tactics that are deployed all around the nation. So although this dealership here is my local Toyota dealership, I'm not picking on them. This is a thing that is plaguing all of the Toyota dealerships around the nation, okay? Let me make that very clear from the beginning. So I think we've all seen the nasty, egregious $5,000 to $10,000 ADMs or additional dealer markups on the desirable vehicles. We've seen that on the TRD Pros, the 4Runners, the Tundras, Sequoias, even the new Land Cruiser that's coming out. Already dealerships are licking their chops to try to capitalize on taking advantage of the consumer, of their customer, which is pretty sad to say, right? I mean, Toyota's putting out these amazing vehicles only for the dealerships to shark people with them, right? To take advantage of people. We typically see a $5,000 or a $10,000 markup over MSRP. Let me talk about that for a second. What is MSRP? That's the manufacturer suggested retail price that Toyota, the manufacturer of these vehicles, set for the vehicles that they're producing, okay? And if a dealership sells a vehicle at MSRP, that dealership is already winning a lot. Okay, so pretend they sold a vehicle with the MSRP of $50,000. That dealership got that vehicle at invoice or even sub-invoice. They're technically pocketing already $7,000 to $10,000 because they get that vehicle for $40,000 to $43,000, if that makes sense. So already, when they sell a vehicle at MSRP at sticker price, they're already winning plenty. So the fact that they feel the need to put an additional dealer markup on top of that, just because it's a desirable vehicle, is pretty sad, right? Because that's them taking advantage of people and lining their pockets. That money does not go to Toyota. That money only goes to that dealership. And actually at this particular dealership, I had a sales rep. The day after the 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser unveiling, I called them and said, hey, I'm local to you. I'm very interested in buying a Land Cruiser. When we start getting them, is there any chance I could put my name on the list? And he ends up calling me back and he says, hey, yeah, we could do that for you, but I gotta let you know there's gonna be a markup on it. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, we're gonna be charging $5,000 to $10,000 over MSRP for that Land Cruiser. I just want to let you know that, but I'm happy to get you on the list. And I challenged him on it. I said, wait a minute, you don't even have the Land Cruiser yet, and you're already trying to charge a markup on it? So I challenged him on it, to which his response to me was, well, I mean, I've got bills to pay too, The sales rep tells me he has bills to pay. So because he has bills to pay, I gotta pay him additional 10 grand. So super disgusting that they do that, especially when they sell it at MSRP, they're already winning. They're already winning plenty. Okay? And then you can have the discussion of, oh, inventory is low, they can't keep up with the shortages and all that. You can play that card. But if you know anything about distributors and Toyota at large, the more vehicles that a dealership sells, the more inventory that they get allocated. So the fact that they're claiming, oh, we don't have enough inventory, we need to capitalize on the inventory that we have. Sure, there's shortages, don't get me wrong, but them pulling that card to get you out of $10,000 out of your pocket is pretty pathetic, because the more vehicles that they sell and the faster they sell the vehicles, the higher their allocation rate is and their return rate on their vehicles. So I find that to be pretty pathetic. Here at this particular dealership, they charge $5,000 to $10,000 over MSRP for desirable vehicles like the TRD Pros and Land Cruisers, seemingly. But you also have this little thing that a lot of dealerships deploy, and I'm bringing this to your attention on purpose because you're likely going to see a very similar thing at your local dealership. They call this the Cheyenne package. So on kind of desirable vehicles, they try to sneak in this Cheyenne package where they just put an inflated price tag on something. Oftentimes they try to call it paint protection or some other package where you're technically getting something super small, but they put a huge price tag on it. So here we have the Cheyenne package for $2 grand. Let me show you. On a Toyota 4Runner Limited. So pretty pathetic that they got to deploy that. So that is just a cash grab. Totally a cash grab and pretty pathetic, okay? But you're gonna likely see stuff like that from your local dealership. Oftentimes they'll put strange little price hikes on things that traditionally shouldn't have a price hike on it. Like I'm talking wheel locks. Window tint will be like $900 when it costs $300 to do it. Paint protection film, again, they'll put like $2,000 when it costs $600 to do it. It's just little cash grabs and opportunities to do that. And Toyota, I mean, they're actually a pretty big offender of the whole distributor or regional port add-ons too. So another kind of a cash grab, right? When it arrives to port or the regional assembly, they'll tack on like running boards, that paint protection film, that front hood deflector, bug deflector up front. They'll tack on a bunch of things just because they can. And that's the unfortunate bit. Toyota isn't benefiting from the dealerships doing that stuff, right? They don't benefit from that. And there's a huge detriment to Toyota when they do that, because what are they doing? They're losing faithful customers, people who have gravitated to Toyota for years. They're losing people because of this. So personally, I'm a fan of dealerships or manufacturers transitioning to that Tesla model. And what is that? That is that consumer direct purchase from the manufacturer. That'd be me buying a Toyota 4Runner QD Pro directly from Toyota and having it sent from the assembly plant right to me. I love that. It gets rid of all the confusion, because a lot of people, they don't have the time to really do the homework and look into the prices of stuff. They don't have the time to make a million phone calls trying to get a fair deal. And unfortunately, you can't do that nowadays, because dealerships really just take advantage of in every way possible, to include dock fees. I have seen such a huge, wide array of dock fees in my life. And you guys know I've purchased a lot of vehicles. I've purchased so many Toyotas. I've seen dock fees that are as little as $100. And I've seen dock fees up to $1,200. I've seen as high as that. Some typically range in the $500, $700 range, which is ridiculous for a dock fee. Again, another cash grab for the dealership. And the fact that it differs so much dealership to dealership is a huge indicator of that just being a cash grab, okay? So yeah, let me know what's your highest one that you've ever seen before. So personally, I'm just kind of fed up with it. You guys know, I don't say this as a weird flex, but I do have a PhD in industrial and organizational psychology. So I say that because I genuinely have a passion and a true interest in understanding why dealerships and why companies and corporations do the things they do. And I'm kind of shocked that Toyota has not really tightened the grip on their dealerships, because they've gotten out of hand. During COVID, they've gotten out of hand totally, and it's had an impact on return customers. I know for a fact. I see so many of you guys comment on my videos all the time saying, hey, I'm done with Toyota, I'm tired of this crap. I see it all the time. So I know for a fact it is having an impact on their consumer and the return customers, because so many of the dealerships no longer care about the customer. And unfortunately, this, in my opinion, my personal opinion, I think they're one of them. They're quick to put a $10,000 fabricated markup on a vehicle they don't even have yet. And if that's not a huge indicator of not caring about your customer, what is? Right? It totally is. So it's a shame to see that, and as a huge Toyota fan, I'm bummed out, especially that my hometown dealership is crummy like that and deploying tactics on people. And I know they're successfully doing it on people, because people, like I said, they don't have the time to do all the homework and really dig into it. They just hope that their local dealership is going to take care of them. And they hope that their local dealership is going to care about them as a consumer. And unfortunately, that is not the case. So my final point here I'll make, this is where I might get a little bit of controversy from you guys. I do wonder, between being post-pandemic, post-COVID, and the huge inflated numbers on everything, and greedy dealership markups left and right, between all of that, putting a nasty taste in people's mouths, between that and them making these pretty large shifts in their vehicles recently, I do wonder what that long-term effect is going to be on consumer interest in the product. Because what do we have? We have Toyota venturing away from things like this, the 5th generation 4Runner, with that naturally aspirated 4-liter V6 5-speed automatic transmission, a bulletproof platform, and they're transitioning to a lot of hybrid options, right? So a lot more tech and a lot more hybrid options. They're deviating from what has made them great over the years and what has developed that huge customer following, and that is just bulletproof reliability, and that's it, right? That's why a lot of people buy Toyotas. They buy it so they can have that great peace of mind and drive it for years to come without any issues. But now we're seeing a bunch of iForce Max and that hybrid technology, twin turbos involved, a lot of things that would typically scare your common Toyota consumer. So I kind of wonder, again, just from a psychological standpoint, where are the customers being at this point? Where are they at mentally with the Toyota? Between having been snaked by so many greedy dealerships and now converting to this big hybrid push, right? This huge push for saving emissions, or helping out with emissions, I wonder how that is really going to unfold for the true Toyota enthusiast out there. I'm trying to be open-minded to it. I try to remind myself every day to be open-minded to the shift that we're seeing here. Because if everyone's going to get it right, I think it's Toyota. So I digress there. Really, I want to get your thoughts. I mean, how do you feel about all the greedy dealership markups that we're seeing right now and we're continuing to see? And I'd even mentioned the huge interest rates, right? So, I mean, dealerships are still trying to do it right now with interest rates being as they are. I mean, we're talking, 6 to 9% with excellent credit. And that is huge, right? I mean, I remember complaining when I got a 3% interest rate one time. I know a lot of people are the same. So interest rates are garbage right now, and that's out of the hands of the dealership for the most part, let's be honest. But even when they're like that, they're still continuing to put greedy dealership markups on their vehicles. So again, just another indicator that they don't really care about that returning customer and developing that relationship with their customer as dealerships of days of old used to do. So I'll wrap up there. Sorry I turned into me meowing. One thing I'm going to throw at the end of this video, I'm only including it purposely at the end of this video because if you watch this whole thing, hopefully, you appreciate the channel, appreciate what I provide you guys. So I will ask you, if you haven't already, please consider liking and subscribing. If you watch my channel, it feels weird even saying that because I don't say that. I think I've produced over about 900 videos. This might be my 900th video. And I've never, I think maybe 2 times ever, I've asked you to like and subscribe. So it pains me to even say it, but at this point, I'd appreciate it. So let me know what your thoughts are. Appreciate you watching as always. Till next time.